Hey guys, welcome to another awesome video. Naj Kazi here. Today's video is all about a college degree versus IT certifications. It's probably one of the most important decisions you'll ever have to make in your entire life. I certainly do not take it lightly, and neither should you. This is a two-part series. This is the first part, and today I'll go over the pros and cons of each. And then in the next part, I'll do the financials, rich dad, poor dad style, so you get to see the exact numbers and understand whether or not you should go get that degree or get a bunch of IT certifications. With that, I'm excited, I'm pumped. Let's roll the intro. Today, I will go deep into degree versus certifications. Think of it as a showdown. I will give you pros and cons of each and let you decide for yourself which way to go. And I will also offer my personal suggestions based on my experience and education in the industry. Let's start off on a positive note. What are the top 3 advantages of getting a college degree? The first one, in my opinion, is diverse education. What do I mean by that? If you look at your screen right now, you'll get to see that I took a snapshot of a computer information systems course from a very reputable private university. And the idea is to show you the diversity of education as far as the different topics covered, right? So you have communication skills. You'll be taking some English composition classes and technical writing and public speaking. You'll be taking humanities classes, ethical and legal issues in professions, technology, society and culture. You'll be taking social sciences classes, things like economics and culture and society and sociology. You'll be taking classes in mathematics, personal and professional development, career development, critical thinking, problem solving, and finally, you'll get to learn the different technologies. And mostly, you'll learn a lot of introductory level stuff, like, what's an information technology, introduction to operating systems, intro to programming, fundamentals of cloud computing. And then you'll have some electives where you go deeper into some of the courses. For example, within information systems, you can pick cybersecurity, or you can pick software engineering, or you can pick different other areas within information technology to be able to get more specialized education. Maybe up to 90% of your degree is going to be spread across these subjects that you're looking at here. Now, if this is something that excites you, that's great. Go for it. But others, it might be a turnoff, because if you really want to be focused on a certain piece of technology, or you want to have a very specialized career, then a college degree might open you up to too many possibilities, eventually leading to a ton of confusion. While it's a positive, it can also be looked upon as a negative. Now, number 2 for me, people networking. When you go to college, you'll be collaborating with your classmates for a couple of years in a row. In most cases, you'll be running into the same people in different classes, especially if your schedules overlap. And what you're going to end up doing is you're going to develop deep bonds and develop very important interpersonal skills. And I think that's where you can't really beat a college or university degree, because you just can't form those type of deep bonds and connections anywhere else. And that's where the biggest value for your money comes into play. And some of those students later on in their lives are going to end up becoming very successful. If you happen to be friends with them, not a bad place to be, because you can help each other get ahead. Number 3 for me is status. If you went to a Stanford University or a Harvard University or an MIT, you have bragging rights, right? It just gives you instant status in society. When you go for jobs and you look for different gigs, you're well respected. While it's changing recently, traditionally, it's been a symbol of status. But recently, at least here in Silicon Valley, where I'm at, in the San Francisco Bay Area, it kind of seems to be changing a bit because people realize that if you just have an MBA or a certain degree from a certain university, it doesn't necessarily automatically make you smart, because we all know that unless you work hard, working smart is not enough. It's a combination of the two that makes you successful. But nevertheless, that's number 3 for me. Now let's look at some of the negatives of getting a college degree. First off, I cannot emphasize this one enough, guys. It's heartbreaking to me. When I was going to college, there were so many classmates of mine that were completely lost. They have no sense of direction. They had no compass. They didn't know which direction to go. Just like you're seeing these doors on your screen, these doors might as well be different subjects you're taking, right? Business classes and sociology classes and psychology classes and career development and then computer science. While it opens up a lot of different opportunities for you and gives you a lot of diversified education to open up your mind, but it at the same time can really, really confuse you. And unfortunately, I've seen a ton of students over the years, initially as a student and later when I became an adjunct faculty professor at a very reputable university, that people just basically feel lost. And what happens when you feel lost? You just feel frozen and you feel stuck and you don't want to take any action because you just don't know where to go. So college degree has an effect of doing that to certain people. I'm not suggesting that it's not for you, but you have to really dig deep within you to see if that's a good fit for you. Number 2 disadvantage for me is college degree is a huge time commitment. Most likely, if you're going to go for a bachelor's in computers, information technology or information systems or whatever have you, you're looking at a minimum of 4+ years of commitment. Now, if you come from a rich family and your parents can write checks for you, by all means, not really an issue, go ahead and do it. But for most of us that do not have that luxury and we have to work while we are going to school, that's a huge time commitment and you really have to seriously consider this factor. Number 3 for me, and that is a big one, guys, is financial burden. Here's a snapshot from credit.com student debt statistics for year 2019. Average student loan debt per person in America is $31,000. To be honest with you, I think that's an underrepresented number. In reality, I think it depends on the type of university you go to, and especially if you live in a big city like Chicago or New York or San Jose, you're going to probably pay twice as much, if not 3 times or even more. And your monthly student loan payments, according to this study, around $400 a month. That's a pretty decent chunk of money. Think of it as like a mini mortgage, right? And it's a big national crisis right now. If you look at the third bullet here, guys, $1.5 trillion worth of student loan debt in the US. That to me is absolutely bonkers. It's crazy. Because if you compare this to all the national loan debt when it comes to all the car loans, plus all the credit card loans combined, student loan debt surpasses that amount. So it's becoming a national issue. And then the last one, on average, it will take you anywhere from 10 to 30 years to pay off your debt. And I can tell you firsthand, guys, that it took me over a decade to pay off all of my student loans. And it wasn't fun. And my student loan payments were a lot more what we're looking at on the screen here. So I'm warning you, unless you know that this is the direction you want to go and you're really, really committed to it, go for it. But if you're not born into a rich family and you're expected to pay and you're going to be taking on those student loans, you better be sure that this is the path you want to go down on. Now switching gears, let's look at the positives of getting certifications. First one to me is focused education. You're going to be laser focused. So for example, if you pick CCNA, you're going to become a networking guy or gal. And that's a great thing. In today's world, it's important to have your niche defined. It's important to be an expert. And it pays to be an expert. So to me, it's the fastest way of not only achieving financial success, but most importantly, to start developing your career very early on. Number 2 for me is instant gratification. So you can go study for CCNA. Let's say you have a 3-month or 6-month target. If you're an organized type of person, it's very realistically achievable to get your CCNA within 90 days. I've seen many, many people do it. You just have to be very disciplined. And to me, it's instant gratification, right? With just a couple of months, you go past that certification, you get a boost of confidence. You also become very valuable to employers, companies that are looking to hire engineers. And if you go out there and look at how many network engineering jobs are available, you will be blown away. And then after you're done with your CCNA, maybe you want to go after another CCNA in cybersecurity, for example. You can go after that. Or you might want to go get your CCNP Enterprise or CCNP Security or whatever have you. You have the choices, and you can also realistically achieve those certifications in a very short period of time. So you keep building that confidence while having the opportunity for you to keep moving up the ladder in the corporate world, because now you have proven skills and you have hands-on experience. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of certifications, because you get hands-on experience versus a college degree, which is 90% all theoretical. You'll be lucky to get any hands-on at a college level. That being said, number 3 for me is more bang for your buck. Do what you love. And that's the beauty of certifications. If you really enjoy networking, for example, and you keep learning more and more about networking, you'll continue moving forward. You'll build a ton of confidence. Even if you're a type of person who is an introvert, doesn't really matter. Like when you are so excited about learning stuff and you learn all this stuff and you have all this knowledge under your belt, you ooze credibility, right? When you're talking to employers for that job, or when they hire you and you talk to their customers, customers can see the passion that you have. Customers can see the knowledge that you have, and that pays dividends. Plus, with certifications, with the least amount of money spent, you can get the most bang for your buck, right? All you have to do is maybe buy a couple of books. You want to become CCNA certified? Get the volume 1 and 2 from Cisco Press. It's going to cost you a couple of bucks. Watch a ton of videos on YouTube, like the one you're watching right now. And if you want to, there are also some resources available on Cisco Learning Network, where you get to read a bunch of PDF documents for free from Cisco. Just those resources alone, coupled with maybe a packet tracer type tool to do some hands-on, you can become CCNA certified for less than $1,000 or $2,000. Okay, that's unbelievable compared to how much value you get out. I mean, a CCNA on average easily makes over $75,000 a year. I can guarantee you that, right? So And compare that to getting a college degree where you might have $100,000 worth of student loan and you might end up getting a job that actually pays you 70 or 80K. So which one do you think is better, right? $100,000 debt and getting an $80,000 job, or spending $2,000 and getting an $80,000 job? You decide. Now let's look at some of the negatives of getting certifications. Since you have a very narrow focus, you might get labeled as a one-trick pony. So for example, if you're just a routing and switching guy, some people might call you a router jockey or a switch jockey. To me, that's not really a negative. If this is something you enjoy doing, that's not a bad thing. It also depends how ambitious you are, right? If you want to become a manager and you want to become eventually like a C-level guy or something, then maybe too narrow of a focus will prohibit your ability to grow. And perhaps you are a better candidate for getting a degree then instead of certification. Something you have to decide. But if you want to develop expertise in a particular area within IT, let's say networking, then being a one-trick pony to me is a strength, not a weakness. Number 2 for me, social distancing. Now, when I say that, I don't mean in a COVID-19 sense. When you're studying for your certifications, you really have to distance yourself from your friends and family members and everybody else. You have to lock yourself in a room, get yourself those dual screens that you're looking at, get your headsets on, get your notebook and your certification books, and just sit there and have at it. Have fun. But that does, as I said, come at an expense of being socially distant. And to me, once again, it just depends the type of person you are. If you are an extrovert, this might be a challenge for you. Most of the engineers are by default introverts, or they're right in the middle. Like I consider myself to be right in the middle, where I'm an introvert when I'm studying and doing my own thing, and I'm an extrovert when I'm out there in real world in front of my customers and in front of my students teaching. I just come alive. So I can switch gears in either direction. Once again, you have to decide for yourself if this is for you. The third negative, in my opinion, is you could potentially hit this glass ceiling or an invisible wall if you are ambitious and you're gonna get into management roles and eventually in a C-level suite. Just having certifications and not having an official college degree might prohibit you, because for some jobs, like at a management level or director level or VP level or C level, they expect you to have at least a bachelor's. So if that is something you would want to do and you're really ambitious, then perhaps certifications are not necessarily for you. Maybe you should go get your degree first and then go from there. That being said, now let's kind of bring it all together, right? So both have pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. You have to decide for yourself which direction you want to go. Now, that being said, let me offer my personal experience and my suggestion to you. If I could do it all over again, I would start off with certifications. I would skip the college degree, because to me, certifications are so exciting, so much fun, and you get so much value out of them, and you don't incur any student loan debt. And which can, trust me, guys, having student loan debt can be very stressful, because I lived that life, and I'm telling you, it's no fun. So you have to decide if that is something you want to do, right? But for me, I would go after certifications and just keep moving forward in one area. And then, like, let's say, for example, I would start off at CCNA, then get CCNP Enterprise, and maybe even go after CCIE if I could. But if I didn't want to go down the CCIE path, then I can go after the next CCNP in security, and then maybe the next one in collaboration, and keep expanding my knowledge that way. And this way, I'm not pigeonholed, right? I'm not basically labeled as a one-trick pony, because now I've expanded my knowledge base and I have hands-on experience in different areas. Ultimately, you have to make that call, but at least now you're well informed and you have the options right in front of you. That being said, it's a wrap. Go ahead and drop your suggestions in the comments down below. I would love to see which direction you think is the way to go. And if you need any suggestions or assistance, I'm here to help. I will be looking at the comments and respond back accordingly. Also, do me a favor. I'm brand new to YouTube, so if there are any suggestions you have, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and I will make sure that I create my future content accordingly so it's relevant to you and you can go out there and crush it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.